Now, hello, good afternoon, good evening, and good day, wherever you're joining us from. It's your favorite show, the Niger We Want. Welcome to the show on this wonderful day, Friday, the 9th of November. Mr. Wale Olaiton, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky. I'm sure you've been across different time zones. You're missing up the time and date, and it's actually Friday the 10th. It's actually Friday the 10th of November.
I've lost a day, so I'm
I
so
know, I know
sorry.
you, and I perfectly understand. So we actually Friday, 10th of November in Melbourne.
Oh, okay. Thanks, November.
Hello,
Let me
can
show
you hear
you.
me?
I hear you.
Okay. I need to confirm. In which planet are you this time? Doc.
I'm back to I
God be
I
praised.
land, but
But there's a kind of echo in the background.
That's for
okay.
me.
I'm not
Is
sure
that
where
for
that.
me?
No, it's for everyone. We're all
Okay.
echo. I don't know where that is.
Thank you for
But
coming into town without seeing me. Thank you.
no, it's not my fault. I tried. I tried.
You tried what?
You're busy. I landed in Lagos. I
You
landed in
landed
Lagos.
in Lagos. You landed in Lagos. You sent a message. I responded, and that was the end of the story.
Uh, all right.
The next thing
I
I saw was you in one village talking to some students and all that. You.
in Abuja, there.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
think there's
let's do the
there's
show.
there's that echo somewhere. Can we just double check our computers or phones? Or Dr. Vicky, do you still have your two systems on because you were
Yes,
using one system before?
I'll sort that out. So let's quick. Um, and then I'll be back.
Okay, Egbo. So
Ali, how you doing?
yeah, I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. I think we see that vibration is still somewhere. Yeah, how is your Fajui? Yeah, Fajui, I've seen your photos and
We've
you've been
done
so
it.
busy lately.
We've done the 5G. It was stressful, but we had it. It eventually became a huge success. We thank God.
Okay.
It's a
Congratulations.
huge. Thank you so much. Huge success it was. I'm trying to run
Yeah,
away
because I
from this
saw
race.
one of the I don't know, I can see when you talk, I can't hear the vibration, but when I talk, I can hear that echo.
But I can hear your echo from here.
Okay.
I can't pick
Yeah,
any
I
echo
think I
from
saw
here.
a photo where in one of the photos you shared, where the two obviously sons of Late Fadri and Agui Rossi,
Yeah.
they attended, and there was one photo you shared where you could see the
The handshake
joy.
across the Niger.
Yeah, and friendship across the Niger. I saw that. Yeah, and yeah, it got me thinking about just seeing them too. Like they are, I think from looking at them, they should be men in their 60s, um,
They are
uh,
men in their very late 60s.
very late 60s.
Yes. Late 60s, if not early 70s.
Yeah, and I was
In fact, I
just
think
even
they are
like
in their early 70s.
uh, I don't know any one of them. I was just thinking what life
Trying
could
to
have been,
see.
or what life has been for them, for both of them, like growing up
Okay.
without their fathers and all that. So I think that was just
Well,
my reflection
they
when I
they
saw that
they two
photo
are
you shared.
fathers. They two are fathers. the coping back on back on. Mon why with this sun this ray of light to me
No, go bad unless it's penetrating through your eyes. But in terms of the
no, it's not.
reflection,
It's not.
yeah. But in terms of the quality
Bad.
of the quality of your video where you are is good. It's not
Okay.
like too bright or.
Where is this Ajala travel? Oh? Where has she gone again? Oh? Ajala travel, welcome back.
Thank you, Egbon.
You are cleaner.
Yes,
It's cleaner now. The sound is cleaner.
it's still echoing a bit.
That must be Australian echo.
Yeah, the
Oh,
same thing. I'm feeling the echo again, and yeah.
all right.
Okay,
Been
let's get into business.
a while. Um, yeah, let's get started trending. And I think there is a pastor somewhere in Nigeria who sold his congregation his con- and the church to another, and there's uproar going on. So turn to business now. I read it. So how did the church is worth congregation that much as worth? Was there any valuation? Did they come to like Elvis come and to come and value what person is, has been bringing to, and everything is, you're selling a business of going to be evaluation, what what the business has made, and what the likely going to be made. That's how they come as per what the cost. Now, church, how do I mean? So you guys
Sorry,
sold.
sorry, Dr. Vic. Sorry, Dr. Vicky. You're losing bits of your sound. I don't know if Wally is experiencing that as well. Your sound is cutting off in between.
It's still the echo. Wale, can you hear me? Wale, are you still there? Wale, our two is around. Can you hear me, Egbon?
I can hear you.
All right. So the thing is about this pastor told this church and it is so Ojapa. That is what is trending. I've been questioning. I've been
Sorry.
how
Did he sell? Did he sell just the church as a structure, or
the
he sold
church
the church as a body
congregation.
and the congregation?
Yes.
Good. So I'm listening.
I'm not sure but he sold his alongside. Yeah, we make we have who daily pays and they pay by like a million naira every. I don't know whether that's the case, but he sold church members were what- so he did that and he just jackpot. So that's one which I come to each person is worth.
Oh my God!
But it's just so funny.
I
Funny
can't. I can't stop laughing at this.
horrible or something like that.
Oh my God!
Like what's trending on your side, sir?
Hmm. Well, now that you've said this, I honestly think every other thing should stop trending. However, however, there is this new disturbing trend of adults raping children. I feel very, very sad about this. It's not particularly a new development, but it seems to be getting traction few these days. I don't know where these men came from. I don't know from which planet they are. I don't know what could have um, added to this trend. I don't know. I don't know. I still can't put my fingers at it. When you have men of 40, 45, 50 having sexual attraction to children of 3 years, 4 years, uh, I've seen too many reports these days. Too many reports to live with. I honestly think something very, very drastic should be done to stop this. I think something very, very drastic should be done to stop this. It's uh it's a very disturbing development. Very, very disturbing development. Well, outside that, um, the elections in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi are trending. The elections are coming up tomorrow, and fingers are crossed. There have been reports of skirmishes. There have been threats of violence even during campaigns from the players, and we can only hope that things will go uh, smoothly without any sad development. But it's obvious that certain politicians are very desperate to to win. Certain politicians are very desperate to occupy seats or retain same, and I can imagine that there'll be incidents of vote buying. But INEC has its work cut out. It's a lot of work ahead in the next few days and maybe weeks. But we are hoping for the very best. That will be it from me.
Mm. Thank you, Egbon. Mr. Lighton, what's trending for you?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Vicky. Um, I'd just like to buttress what Egbon said around, the gubernatorial elections and the implications of that, for our democracy. Nigeria, since return to democracy in 1999, Nigerians have extensively discussed about democracy. Some have argued, whether what we have currently can also be called democracy. Some are happy to call it an electoral democracy. But even within that, electoral democracy as a definition compared to the liberal democracy, there are still issues around, even as an electoral democracy, at least that we're able to elect people every 4 years or every 3 years at local government. What is the quality of the elections? And that is very important, that essentially, when you just talk about democracy, there are key parameters. And one of the two key parameters of a democracy is around, political participation, that people should be able to, actively participate in democracy. There should it should be a level playing field for people to actively participate, not just for the big players, for new entrants into the field. They should be able to compete favorably with big players, and also very closely linked around the participation is competition itself. that for the democracy to thrive, there should be a high degree of competition, where again people should be able to. It shouldn't be for the big boys or the big girls alone. It should be for everyone. And the major markers is that from time to time we should have non-incumbents going to elections and defeating an incumbent leader. It's a sign of democracy. It's a sign of one of the qualities of democracy. That's why, no matter what people think about Goodluck Jonathan at the time, when he lost that election as an incumbent and handed over power and move on, people might have opinions about him, but then it demonstrates something in terms of what is actually quality of democracy is for a leader, or to make it competitive, that if they lose an election, they let it go and move on. So we hope that the elections, gubernatorial elections this weekend will go smoothly. We've lost many innocent lives already, in this country, and we just hope that people will be peaceful, and then we can have positive outcomes. I'll stop there.
All right. So before we move on, I just remembered something that we can't do this show today. Talk about the about this as part of what is trending. There's a woman called Toyi. Is she Toyi? She's got 4 children. Allegedly, is it not allegedly, or it's been proven? DNA were done on all the 4 kids, and none of them were for the husband. And I think we've talked about DNA stuff here on our show in the past. It seems to be common these days that even some people were now saying maybe everybody should go through the DNA thing. It's like every other child doesn't belong to the father, which is funny to me. But when I looked at it and I look at this woman's story, I hear her and I hear the husband. What could make a woman to go to that extent? Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 children. And I just have to say and everyone that I've talked to about this within the last week, I've said this, that when we go back into this culture of after 9 months of getting married, you must produce a child by fire, by force, which is something, which is more like what is put on Nigerian women by the culture, by the system, by the family, by everyone. There are womb watchers. So women go to whatever extent to make sure that happens, so that they won't be stigmatized as barren, so that they won't be looked down at, so that they won't be cursed, so that they won't be, I've been through that stage, that I know it's not a good place to be, especially when you live in Nigeria. I didn't live in Nigeria, but this woman had to go and do what she had to do to be able to have not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 children. That says a lot about the culture where we live in, that there are many kids out there without parents that needed support, that needed someone to look after them. But we're still trying to push. After all these 200 and something million people, we still, every parent, every couple must have kids. They must have kids. Even if they have one, they must have another. They must have another. It's a pressure that is being placed on these women that is making them to go and do things that, it's not palatable, but she had to do what she had to do. I believe so. What are your thoughts? Let's just quickly, it's something that I think we need to do a show on. But Egbon, I can see that.
I'll rather listen to Wally.
Egon, please go.
So I'm listening, Wally. Do you have any reaction to it?
Look, my reaction is I know where Dr. Vicky is coming from, is a plausible argument in terms of the culture, but I have issues when we're not just talking about a child. If you're talking about 4 kids, if the issue was around just pressure of having a child, I would think that once you have one or two, probably you stop. If the pressure was just on family, I just want to be honest here. If it was about that kind of pressure, you stop probably one so that you won't be called barren again if you have one. And by the time you have two, people will just leave you alone. So having three and four in there, I think there's an issue there. But I saw the first interview with this Ibadan broadcaster. I saw the interview, and at the stage, the woman was saying something that really caught my attention. At the stage, she was saying, maybe that was part of her script, I don't know. But at the stage, she was saying during the interview, she said she was doing something that she was keeping a secret between them. She mentioned that a few times, and at a stage I remember the interviewer paused and focused on the man and asked the man directly maybe there was any form of secret between them, maybe along the lines that maybe the man has some fertility issues, and then they had this kind of agreement between them that look, we just manage whatever among themselves, and the woman will go out and bring this pregnancy. I'm not exactly so sure, but the woman alluded to that during that conversation. Maybe there have been other revelations after that. I don't really know, but I remember during that interview, I was thinking if I was the one interview uh, the couple, I would probably try and unpack that very well. The woman actually said that on that live interview that she didn't want to talk because she was protecting a kind of pact or a kind of secrecy between them. She mentioned that a few times, and I thought that was opportunity for the interviewer to really press on that. That is what I've got to say for now. Egbon, over to you.
Um, Doctor, I wish you had just left this topic for a whole program
All right, we will.
and not just hint at it
Yeah.
because it's a little more complex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to toe Wale's line um, by saying yes, agreed that agreeing that culture has something to do with this in most cases. But what do you think about the numbers, the figures involved? You have a rethink. You have a rethink. But I also want to say that uh, I'll take it from the popular saying of our elders that those whose palm kernel has been crushed for them by the gods should not forget to be thankful. In other words, if all is well and there is nothing to be suspicious about, there is nothing to be worried about, um, just be thankful because this particular exposure uh, is something waiting to happen in quite a number of homes. And I would not want to mess up a Friday for anybody watching this program. So please take care of your kids. They are God's gift, and just be happy. Just like the song says, don't worry, be happy.
Hmm.
Okay. Before science intrudes into that calmness, into that joy you're having, don't worry, just be happy for now.
See, we have a show.
Yes, in the future, not probably not in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's get to the topic and continental.
Unfortunately, time is so fast spent, so let's we need to run.
Get into it.
Okay. Yeah, courtesy of our producer, Mr. Festus Alabi. Doctor, can you try and mute when I'm talking because I'm still hearing this? I don't know. Thank you. Yes, we discussed in outrage as National Assembly purchases 160 million naira SUV each for members. As one of the three arms of government, the National Assembly is a critical institution for sustenance of Nigeria's democracy. As representatives of the people, both chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives, are not just responsible for lawmaking, but also have the duty to carry out oversight on the executive arm of government. But over the years, the National Assembly is seen by many Nigerians as a corrupt and frivolous institution, which awards members bogus salaries and allowances at the expense of taxpayers and people who voted them into office. In the light of this, the National Assembly is facing fresh criticisms over the decision to purchase 109 2023 model of Toyota Land Cruiser for senators and 2023 Toyota Prado for 360 members of the House of Representatives. Many Nigerians describe the plan to purchase the SUVs for the lawmakers as insensitive and provocative at a difficult time in the history of the country, but the National Assembly did not budge. Members are said to have taken delivery of the SUVs with a total value of 57.6 billion naira, when the majority of Nigerians are poor and suffering over fuel subsidy removal hardships. There are people who are of the opinion that the lawmakers should have delivered the fund to a productive venture. Why many people wonder why the lawmakers did not opt for locally made vehicles to boost the economy and the value of the naira. The lawmakers continue to defend this decision with reasons like the poor state of the roads in the country and it's a normal routine. So I'll go straight, to the panelists that was out from Mr. Shodimo. How justified is this decision to buy 57.6 billion naira worth of vehicles for 469 members of the National Assembly? Mr. Shodimo.
My reaction to it is there is no amount of grammar, there is no amount of logic that you can put forward to justify this. None. None. That is the bottom line. There's none. Not at this time. Not with the state of our economy. Not with the state of poverty that is out there. There is no amount of justification you can do. But let me tell you what I suspect will happen. I've had arguments against, so much arguments against. And I've had words in support of this, especially coming from the chambers. I think they've made a mess of their stand. They've made a mess of their argument in support. I saw a particular TV interview with a senator, and I felt that was a disastrous outing. That was obviously a disastrous outing for a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to come out and say a lot of gibberish that we had. I wish he did not grant that interview. But however, let me tell you what is likely to happen. A lot of these guys have state-of-the-art cars in their garages. That is the truth. Quite a number of them. And the infusion of this 160 million thing may not necessarily boost their status. But what these guys are seeing are not the cars. Maybe not all of them, but quite a number of them. What a number of them are seeing is the figure. is that amount, in the sense that quite a number of these cars will find their way back to the dealers and money will be collected. Quote me, quite a number of them will send those cars back and get the money's worth. Maybe not total. A deal will be struck.
We'll be struck with, yeah.
A couple of thousands will go off it, and they will get that money back. And that in itself is a shame. That in itself is organized robbery of a collective what's that word now? Our resources. That is what is likely to happen. Excuse me. A number of them will not be able to take those vehicles back to their constituencies, because of the anger out there, because of the perceived reaction of Nigerians. But most importantly, it's either they are sending it back to the dealers, or they are locking them up in their garages. For what use, I don't know. That is the scenario that is likely to happen. I've not had many people talk about this angle of the issue, but that's the most likely thing to happen, which is sad.
Yeah, because you just mentioned that many of them, but they are on like that. The politician I was on, I think it was on channels, and I think I came across that the video. The arrogant, he was so arrogant in his presentation. He mentioned, clearly that proud to coming to the National Assembly, he had cars, very expensive cars in his garage. He said that during that interview, and yeah, and going by what you said, I think there's a logic there that if they have this base of SUVs in the garages, ready, why do you really want to get another one when they can exchange money and do it, strike a deal with the suppliers and everything? But overall, as you said, it is a shame. But there are key other areas that we can explore. I don't know. I have a question for Dr. Vicky. I think she's battling, technology. So I'll continue with you. Maybe we can continue with our
Right.
conversation. And you made reference to that earlier in terms of some lawmakers justify the purchase because of the poor state of the roads in the country. Is that not a big indictment on the political leaders? That some of them have said that look, the roads are bad, and they need four-wheel drives to be able to drive around. I can't even believe someone actually said that, but some of them said that.
Sorry. I mean, in fact, of all the arguments, that particular one seemed to be the most outrageous, the dumbest of all arguments. Because, I mean, it's not Nigerians' business to keep the roads the way they should be. That is work of government. It is not Nigerians' business to tar the roads. So if for any reason our roads are not maintained, if for any reason our roads are dilapidated, you don't ask us to pay you to ride smoothly on them. You don't. Listen, Wale, I just came back from a movie shoot this morning, and the roads, and this I'm talking about a federal government road now, a major road. I'm going to be specific. Driving from Shagamu to Ijebu Ode, you need to be an expert in avoiding potholes. You need to be lucky to get your vehicles back in good shape. Because, I mean, if it was a road located in a war zone, I can understand. Maybe along the line the roads have been bombed to reduce enemies accessibility and all that. That is a horrible road. A couple of years back, you could drive smoothly on that road, but now you need to, just as I said, you need to be an expert in avoiding it. So what I'm saying in essence is, you don't come and tell me you need SUVs to drive on Nigerians' bad roads. What is
I think I've lost temporarily
works?
lost Mr. Okay.
Please go on.
Look, I think some of
I'm
the
with you,
issues
Wale.
are, yeah, we've mentioned on this program before around, road constructions and road area, the new vocabulary that they use now, palliative work. I think we spoke about this about 3 months ago when we were talking about the FCT and Wiki and all these actions and everything. And gradually, I can see now when you read anything about road, you hardly hear anything about actually road construction. There's a lot of emphasis on palliative works going on the roads, palliative works going on the road. And when you see, because I've seen that even across different areas in the state, like you ask yourself, what palliative measures are you putting in this road? This is like a bad road that you need to really do a major overhaul and construction. And I think because they are not doing what they have to do, and then they justify that with because of the state of the roads, which in a way, as you rightly mentioned, is a major indictment on the government. So my next question now, we just roll on to issues around the need for the government to cause cost of governance. Why can't the National Assembly actually champion this to cut cost of governance, considering the situation of things in the country? We don't want to be from 6 months of a new government to be so critical and not to see anything, I guess, positive. But when you come into government with a lot of promises and with a lot of hopes, and actually a few days ago I was reading the party's renew up, and where the president himself actually said that they are not going to repackage old failed promises. They are not going to insult Nigerians by repackaging old failed promises as something new for the masses. But it appears that, look, what they're trying to do now in the scheme of all the economic issue, you still want to, like, the most important priority is to spend 57.6 billion in buying cars. Then something is not quite right there. So what is your take, Mr. Chojimoy, around the need for government across all levels to cut cost of governance?
Prior to coming into office, pre-election, period of election, even immediate post-election, they have a lot of baggages. They take on a lot of baggages. They take on a lot of people hangers on. They rely a lot on godfathers. They they put together supporters and people with no, particularly no, maybe no visible means of livelihood and all that. When they win and they come into office, they need or they try to satisfy all these people, most of these people. That is the reason for. That's why they create uh, a lot of offices. They create, uh, I mean, unimaginable avenues for these people to make money. They try as much as possible to recoup what they have spent themselves. That's in addition to the fact that a lot of people expect so much from them. Nigerians expect so much from them, not particularly to deliver for the common good, but for their own personal things. So, apart from these politicians, apart from those in office, Nigerians also have what they contribute to the mess in which we are. However, it is it only makes sense for us to to cut the cost of governance. It only makes practical sense for us to do away with offices and organizations that we do not particularly need. People hide under the issue of we are so many and we need to be taken care of and all that. For God's sake, create a enabling environment for all and see how Nigerians will thrive. Maybe I should just stop so that Dr. Vicky can have an input to all this.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shodimo. So Dr. Vicky has had challenges with technology. I will just, give Mr. Shodimo a break. Can you hear me, Dr. Vicky?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I just want to get your thoughts. I'll put about three questions and roll them into one. Number one, they will spend, 57.6 billion on buying cars, SUVs for senators and House of Rep members. Some of these members have justified that because the roads are bad, that they need SUVs to be able to travel, around the country. Specifically, there was an interview on Channel TV with one senator Sunday, I think Karim from Kogi West. Um, and so when we roll the amount of money spent in buying these cars, and then the justification by some of the members around the bad roads and the need, and also the government's rhetoric around reducing cost of governance. How can we really move forward as a nation? What is your take on all these issues, especially when Nigeria, considering the state of the economy and considering you just came back from Nigeria, and considering how average people are doing it really tough? Is this the right thing for the government to do at this moment?
Ah, my dear brother and everyone listening, it's it's not a good time, and I don't think there's ever a good time for them to do this. Absolutely not. We're talking about billions, not millions, billions. That billions, we know what that can do for for the nation, for people living in Nigeria. It's things are really tough. Things are really tough for ordinary people on the street. I traveled to a few places, and the I was there in January. This is November. it's massive. The difference is so massive from how things were in January compared to how things are right now. Even we that live outside, we know things are not the same. Things are more expensive and all that. But now just go to Nigeria and imagine how things are, where there are no system, where there are nothing in place to take care of the underdogs. Um, Now for the government, the few of them, we're talking about less than 500 of them, is it? Now determining to do this. It's a slap on the people. It's like we really don't give a damn about you guys. That's what they're saying. And it shows that they've got no empathy. They got no capacity to see how these people are struggling, how Nigerians are struggling. And it makes me so sad that they can go ahead and not give a damn about the people that they're supposed to be looking after. After leaving Nigeria, I went to Dubai, and everywhere that I visited, everywhere that I saw, everything that I saw, it screams leaders with vision. It screams visionary leaders. It screams people that want the best for their own communities. They want the best for them. All that we ask for in Nigeria is good roads. We want power, which is electricity. If we have those two, honestly, to be able to create employment will be easier. Good roads, we give opportunities to farmers to bring their stuff from the farm into, we are able to move easily. I mean, those two countries, I was there and I just there's no similarities at all. And I imagine our leaders visiting places like this. But when you look at our leaders, despite the hardship that the members of the public are facing day to day, even to move from point A to point B, to go to a place which is like 10 kilometers away, that can take you 4 or 5 hours. And that is every single day. Now, for our own leaders to decide that what is important to them is to buy billions, not million, billions of naira worth of vehicles from overseas, that says a lot about our culture. Our culture of wanting to show off that I'm better than you. Now, for the leaders to say it's because of bad roads, that's why we are digging our hands into the treasury to go and buy cars from overseas and bring it and show off to our people because the roads are not bad. The roads are not bad. Roads that are supposed to be fixed by them. Come on. I mean, I'm quite speechless. It's just so, it screams, this is so wrong, so wrong on every angle. It makes me angry.
Okay, I'll give you some time to just. I'll give you a break, Doctor Vicky. It is a very sensitive topic, and it is very, I guess, thought provoking, and also one cannot just ignore the insensitivity on the part of the lawmakers and the government alike. So we all deserve, if you're angry, we deserve to be angry because I would like to see more of the anger on the streets. you know, especially on this. There are economic issues that they can fix that they won't fix in 6 months, but there are a few things that they have control over as a government. Moving on, I will go to Mr. Shodemu now. The campaign for made in Nigerian goods is still on, and people expect the lawmakers to opt for locally made vehicles to boost the economy and the value of the naira. So, what message are they passing with this decision? So, just two things there. They need to boost value of naira by purchasing locally made goods, and how can we really just just oppose that with the lawmakers spending these billions of naira to develop other economy because they're taking that money out to other countries when we have locally like Imosin, producing locally made vehicles. What could have done? What could that amount of money will have done to that local manufacturing industry, Mr. Chodimo?
Wale, I made some allusions earlier. At this rate, nothing will make them settle for locally made SUVs, because um, it won't give them that amount, even if it's returned to the dealers. It won't give them that amount. The the idea of boosting the economy by the purchase of locally made ones, locally made vehicles, is particularly not in their agenda. They're not. It's not in sight. I've just told you. What is more is getting that amount in there. But it's like handing over freebies. It's like handing over freebies. I guess probably that was one of the reasons why they felt, okay, let's throw a few grains to the hungry population, so that while they are busy munching that, we can quickly get our own booty. There's no doubt about it that this would have helped the economy, pumping that amount into into the system, uh, deliberately targeted at certain areas of the economy, would have helped a lot. The naira would have probably been given a boost. Nigerians would have been able to breathe slightly better. But I tell you, all this is neither here nor there. For as long as that money can come back to quite a number of them, and for the few that will keep the cars, it's probably just additional status symbol for them. They can go to their friends' children's party in that car, chauffeur driven, accompanied by police escorts, and it tells them, yes, the honorable has arrived, or the distinguished senator is here. I mean, that's for the few that are going to keep the cars. But you keep asking yourself, are there no divergent views even within the assembly? The answer is yes. But such views are muffled, which also brings into play the fact that um, this is this is a decision taken across party lines. So nobody should be fooled that a particular party is proactive, is pro people, and all that. The fact is that it's Nigerians that are on that party's platform that are in the assembly. And it's so obvious now that we cannot be singling out a particular party, that this party is the evil one, while the other ones are positive, they are good for the people, and etc. etc. Hands in gloves. So Wally, just as Dr. Vicky said, I'm actually restraining myself from using certain words because of the platform in which we are. But we can't justify it. We cannot. We can't justify it. But it is assumed as usual
Thank you.
that after some time, some other issues will take over the airwaves, and we will stop talking about it. That is the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Chodima. You made a vital point around that across different all the political parties represented at the Senate or House of Rep, none of the parties, no one has come out to reject that car. That look, as a party, they've taken a position and they want to align with the poor Nigerians and outrightly reject that car, or probably use that money for something else. I can't remember reading anything like that in the dailies or online. So again, that shows that when it comes to sharing the goodies, they are all the same. And that will bring me to the last question that I want, because looking at the time that I will put to Dr. Vicky before I get our 30 seconds, final words. Um, Nigerians know that they call the National Assembly like the den for the corrupt people. People say that all the time that okay, so producer just drop a message just to uh, uh, along what I said, the Labour Party actually told its members to reject
The
the
car.
cars, uh, but
But they refused.
they
What
they
has been the
refused.
reaction of
So the
the
members
members?
refused.
They refused.
They refused. They refused the directive from the party. Thank you, Mr. Labi, for that information. So, Dr. Vicky, so Nigerians know
Sorry, Wally.
before
Sorry,
now
Wally.
and don't want to
Kindly,
generalize that.
sorry, Wally. Sorry. Maybe we should withdraw the word directive. It's probably advisory and playing to the
Okay.
gallery.
Okay. So
By
why
the
do we
time those
keep on
cars are converted, by the time the
re-electing
cars are
this?
converted, by the time those cars are converted into the cash, some monies will go back to some places.
Very interesting theory. So why
Such a
Dr.
shame.
Vicky, we know that the place is corrupt, it's full of corrupt politicians, and you're trying not to generalize here. Why do we continue to, I guess, elect people like that to go and represent the people? The same, we know that they're going to be there to represent themselves, that they are going to not going to represent the people. Why do we continue to elect the same set of people that don't really care about the people to go and represent the people? In 90 seconds, Dr. Vicky.
It's quite unfortunate, but I believe that people, Nigerians, they are getting the leader that they deserve. Leaders like them. They are making choices and picking. Most people are picking those that are like them. Lack of vision. Personally, by the time you now become leader, you have no vision, right? You become leader, what are you gonna do? And it shows in every area, from those who are leading uh, the local area to those who are leading the states to those who are leading the federal. Why is it that every now and again, every time, there's always this constant talk about why are we getting this kind of leaders? Why are we not making better choices for ourselves? Why is it that despite all these things going on, we have people fracas on social media cursing, abusing, doing all sorts of rubbish, and just representing Nigeria in a very bad way. Why is that? And we are complaining that we have all these leaders, when we all need to come together and say enough is enough. This shouldn't continue anymore. You see them talking about interpersonal relationship, interpersonal issues. This one look at me this way, this one look at me that way, this one disrespected me, this one did this one talk about my whatever. That's all they talk about. Go on social media, it's all there. It's never about issues. Countries that don't talk about issues, what is bound to happen? We are educated, we've been to university, but majority, they just went through university. That university never went through them. They just wanted the certificate and then that's it. But you see the way people behave. I mean, I'm not sure if you know about what's going on right now with an association here in Melbourne. If you count all the members of that group, if you count them all, I don't think they're up to 5,000. They speak the same language. They are not, it's not like Yoruba and the Igbo and they speak the same language, but they cannot come together and just keep working together. They brought division in there. And now a thriving association is almost going down. Only God can save that association. And it brings me so much, I feel so physically hurt by all this, that we are educated, we should know better, we should know better, we should know better. And majority of us are Christians. We talk about this, we talk about that. And I went to this Muslim country and come and see all the wise words being said by their leader. You see everything in these places, you can see that it's something that they've already visualized. They have that big vision before it even come to fruition. When they now have it as a vision, they work towards making it a reality. Why is it that so many people are going there? Even Black Americans, they are leaving their countries to move to this place instead of coming to Africa. Why? The safety. You know, when you go, you come back home safely. There's lights. You know, there's no NEPA anywhere. There is so many things. But look at our people. Look at our people. Why are we electing these empty heads? It's in us. It's within us. It's how we reason. It's how we look at things. Which is why you see thousands of people watching Esabod. Which is why you see thousands of people, even millions of people, watching all these empty heads, talking about nothing. Lizzie and Johnny talking about Yabo Ojo, fighting about this, talking about cursing each other, cursing their own children, abusing and all that kind of stuff. Why? And you see people going there to comment on this emptiness. That doesn't build anybody. It doesn't build. It won't build. It's empty. Do we need to talk to people about this? Let's come together and work and build our nation. You won't see our people there. But when you see them fight, if me and Egbon now, if we start, hey, thousands of people will be clicking to watch. Bukyomi Folaji said this to Mr. Shodimu. Hey, people on the side of Shodimu, people on the side of Bukyomi Folaji, and another people on Wale Alaito, and then B. Social media. Come on.
Okay, maybe we should be fighting from. Maybe we should be fighting from time to time. Maybe we should be having our own fracas from time to time, so that.
Go ahead and do that, and your 5G will react.
People can join and listen to us. And
no wonder.
Okay, so
we are almost out of time.
We've gone above our allocated time. About 30 seconds, your final words for tonight.
Frankly, nothing to add. It's just that we hope we'll get out of the woods one day. We hope so. It's the situation is very bad, but I keep saying it. We will not have excellent leaders. We will not have proactive leaders. We will not have visionary leaders with our present party
Mindset.
system, the political party system. It will not happen. As bad as a number of these parties are, there are good people in some of those, in some, but they will never emerge. They will never be allowed to emerge. They won't. It's either they don't have enough money, it's either they don't have enough support, it's either that they speak the truth too much, it's either because the Godfather says no. We won't have the best. We won't. We'll continue like this way. It's a sad thing to say, but that's the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Shodemo. I'll hand over the baton to Dr. Vicky for our final words and to close the show. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Vicky.
Thank you, Mr. Wale Olaiton, the intercontinental moderator, and Mr. Yemi Shodimo for taking time out from his busy schedule to be here today. I will want to actually share a couple of quotes by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. I'm not sure if I said that right. That is the leader of Dubai, a visionary leader. A visionary leader. He has his own shortcomings. Who doesn't? But this guy has so much vision for his country. Okay, a desert, and they brought something out of it. Before I actually go into that, he said something. He said the word impossible is nowhere in the vocabulary of the UAE. The word impossible is nowhere in the vocabulary of the UAE. Hmm. This is a place where a couple of times one of my team forgot a mobile phone in a very open place, and that phone wasn't taken. They kept it for her. Not once, not twice. Nobody touched anybody's things. Your bag, nobody touches it. Why is that? Now, he said something else. The worthy man is the one who works for the advancement and the future of his country and adds new glories to those achieved by his forefathers. I'll read that again. The worthy man is the one who works for the advancement and adds new glories to those achieved by his forefathers. The last one that I would like to emphasize on is this, and it's for all of us. He said, we may not live for hundreds of years, but the product of our creativity leave a legacy long after we are gone. What are the legacies these people are leaving? What are the legacies? What are we going to say about them in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, 40 years' time? What are the legacies? So for each and every one of us, we are leaving legacies. But what kind of legacies are we leaving? That's the question we all need to ponder on. And to that, I'll say thank you for joining us on this show tonight. We will be back same time, same place next Friday. Till then, you all take care. Mr. Wale Olaiton, thank you so much for great moderation as usual. And Mr. Shodimu, it already dropped out, but thank you for being here. So we'll be back again next Friday, same time, same place. Till then, you all take care and God bless.
God bless. Bye.
The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. Of Africa. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. The Nigeria we want. We take you me for Ladi. Yeah, me show the moon. Wale your light on. I can see what you cool. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria, on big ocean. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria, of Africa. Nigeria.